Hey lads, trying to find the coordinates of the centroid whose vertices are 2 minus 3, 4, 0, minus 3, and 9. Centroid is very easy. So, find the coordinates of a centroid triangle whose vertices are the following. Well, centroid is quite easy. What a centroid is for any given triangle, you go to the middle of a line, see the middle of AB, you go to the midpoint, and all you do is you draw a line straight up to the basically to the angle that's looking at that line. And then you do the same thing here. You go to the midpoint of CB, you go to the midpoint, and then you draw a line that goes through there. And where the two lines meet is the centroid of the triangle or the center of gravity. If I was to do this basically for any triangle, you measure with a ruler, but if you go roughly halfway, okay, and then you go halfway here, and all you need to do is just draw your midpoint to your median line to the angle that looks that side, and then go to the midpoint and draw it towards the angle that looks that side, and this here will be your centroid. But there's actually a formula for it, and the formula for it is x1 plus x2 plus x3 over 3, y1 plus y2, y3 over 3. Now, key thing to note about centroids is that they always divide in the ratio of 2 is to 1. So, for example, if I said the distance from here to here was, let's say, for argument's sake, that means this one has to be 3. If I said the distance from here to here will be 8, this one from here to here would be 4. It's always a ratio of 2 is to 1. Twice as long, and then the other side is shorter. Okay, is half the length. Right, so that's what we're getting at. Now all I got to do, guys, is use this formula, and this question's really easy. X1 plus x2 3 over 3, y1 plus y2 plus y3 over 3, and then you can put in your values. Call this one x1, call this one y1, call this one x2, call this one y2, call this x3, call this one y3. And what you're just going to get is 2 plus 4 plus minus 3. And then this one here is going to be minus 3 plus 0 plus 9 over 3. And this, when you put it into the calculator, you're going to get 3 over 3. And you're going to get 6 over 3, which is the point 1, 2. Okay, so the answer to question 1 is 1, 2. And you can do part 2 yourselves. It's very easy, right? Go on, I'll do part 2. What the heck? I'm charitable today. You should probably try it yourself at this stage because it is that easy. X2, Y2, X3, Y3. And once again, we're just going to have 1 plus 6 plus 5 over 3. And then the other one's going to be 3 plus 2 minus 2 over 3. It's going to be 12 over 3. And whatever, 3 over 3, which is the point 4, 1. Right? So that's exercise 4.5, question 1. Now, exercise 5, question 2. Find the coordinates of the circumcenter of a triangle with vertices 0, 0, 4, 0, and 1, 3. Draw a sketch of your work. So, so what we're going to do is we're going to draw this out. So that's 0, 0, 4, 0, and 1, 3. And we can see it's sort of like that. Okay. Now, the deal is that a circumcenter. Now, what exactly is a circumcenter? Well, a circumcenter of a triangle is a point of intersection of the mediators, perpendicular bisectors of the side. So, what it means is you're to get the midpoint and then go perpendicular. Okay? So, in theory, what we're looking to do is we're looking to get the midpoint. Well, this is actually quite easy. Now, you can do the midpoint of any 2 points you want. Alright? So, the midpoint of the bottom is quite easy. You can get that straight away. The midpoint of for argument's sake, we'll just call this A, B, and C. The midpoint is the point 2, 0. Okay? And that's the first thing you're going to do there. That point is 2, 0. Okay. Next thing you're going to do is you need to get the midpoint of another side. So the midpoint of your side, we can try 0, 0 and 1, 3. And we can use the midpoint formula x1 plus x2 over 2, y1 plus y2 over 2. You can almost do it by eyesight. It's going to be 1 and 1.5. But where is it? That 1, 3. Oh, sorry guys, I drew the triangle wrong. Doing that. I drew a 2, 3. What is it going to be at? 1, 3. Smartest. Now let's try this again. Okay, this one here is the midpoint of the first line. Okay, and now we're going to get the midpoint of the second line. So the midpoint of, we're going to have to find the midpoint of A to B to C. So once again, it's x1 plus x2 over 2, y1 plus y2 over 2. We're going to end up with 0 plus 1 over 2. And then we're going to end up with 0 plus 3 over 2. It's going to be a half and 1.5 as predicted. Okay. Now, my next job is to basically get, if you look at the description here, my next job is to get a perpendicular line that goes through those two midpoints. So I have to find, so this one here is the vertical line x equals 2. Okay, it's the vertical line x equals 2 because it goes straight up. Okay, now I have to find what is the slope of this line here that's going to be going perpendicular to the original line. Okay, so to get this line, what we're going to do is we're going to get the slope of A to B. The slope of A to B is 1 across 3 up. So slope AB, or you can use the slope form if you want, but it's 1 across 3 up, so it's 3 over 1, which is 3. This means the perpendicular slope, this line here, will be minus 1/3. Perpendicular slope of the blue line is going to be minus 1/3. Now I'm going to get the equation of the blue line, which is y minus y1 equals m into x minus x1, which is going to be y. Now this green point here is a half and 1.5, so it's going to be y minus 1.5 equals m, which is minus 1/3 into x minus x1, which is minus a half. So this is going to be an interesting one. I'm going to multiply across by 3. I'm going to get 3y minus 4.5. I'm going to multiply them by minus 1. I'm going to get minus 1x plus a half. Remember, the 3 multiplied by the y minus 1.5 and the minus 1 multiplied by the x and the minus a half. Now I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. To get both sides by 2, we're going to get multiply both sides by 2. We're going to get 6y minus 9 equals minus 2x plus 1. Now the deal is we know x equals 2. So now we know that 6y, bring the 9 out the other side, equals 9 minus 2x plus 1. But the deal is we know that 2x is, we know that 2x is 2 times 2, which is 4. Alright, so it's going to be 6y equals 9 minus 4 plus 1. And then we're going to get 6y equals 6 and y equals 1. Now, that's roughly where it was done by diagram here. That's where it is here. And if this is the circumcenter, when I draw a circle, it should hit all 3 points at the same time. All 3 points should be on the circle. And there it is. See the way the circle hits all 3 points? That makes that the circumcenter. Okay? So the circumcenter is simply the point 2, 1. Now question 5. Find the coordinates of the orthocenter of a triangle with vertices 0, 0, 4, -2, and 4, 4. Now, what exactly is an orthocenter? There it is there. What you do is you draw a perpendicular line from the corner straight down. You do it twice, you get the correct answer. Okay? So, what I might do is, if it fits 4 -2, I think I can reuse this diagram here. I'll show you what I mean. Alrighty. You can almost you're not to do this. You have to do this manually. You can't do it by you have to do it by algebra. You can't be doing it by diagram. To be honest, it won't always match up nicely. So imagine this triangle here. 1, 2, 3. All right. Now remember the description. The description of this is basically has to be perpendicular to a line going through the corner that looks at that line. Right. So the first one's easy, and I'll do it in green writing for green line for you. Here's the angle, and see the way it hits the line. That's the first one. It's perpendicular to, I'll label these what's it, O, A, B. This green line is perpendicular to A, B and goes through O. Okay. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find the midpoint of. I can find the midpoint of OA quite quickly. The midpoint of OA is 2, 2. Oh, sorry, I'm not looking for the midpoint. The slope of OA is 4 across 4 up. So the slope of OA is 1 because it's 4 across 4 up and 4 across right over run, if you remember correctly. Okay. This means the slope of the perpendicular slope would be -1, which means 1 down and 1 across. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to B, and I'm simply going to do a slope of -1 through B. So -1 would be 1 across 1 up, 1 across 1 up, and look, I found my orthocenter right there. My orthocenter is the point 2, 0. Okay. Now, how do I do that using algebra rather than doing it by diagram? Here's how you're going to do it. Step 1, find the slope of OA. Now you have to, and then find the slope of the perpendicular line, the red line, which is -1. Insert that into the equation of a line formula, which is y minus y1 equals n into x minus x1. Okay. At this point here, the point it goes, this red line goes through the point B. Point B is 4 -2. That makes that your x1 and your y1. So it's going to be y minus -2, which is +2, and then your m, which is -1, into x minus 4. You're going to multiply that out, and you're going to get -1x plus 4, and then bring it, and then you have y plus 2. Move everything to one side, you're going to have x plus y, bring the 2 out the other side, and you get x plus y equals 2. Right? That's the first one. Now, the next line's a bit easier, because AB has no slope, and you know that, you see this line here, the green line. The green line is the x-axis, so it's the point x equals 0. Or sorry, the x-axis is y equals 0, because the green line is basically when y equals 0. So using this, you can figure out that y equals 0, which would be that one there. This means x equals 2, so that it's still 2, 0. Is that okay for everybody? All right, and that's it basically done. You can do it by simultaneous equation as well. Whatever but you think. Okay, that is what's a 1, 2, and 5 I did there. Questions 1, 2, and 5 on 4.5, 1, 2, and 5.